What's good? It's your boy Purple Lips back with another controversial topic. Today we're gonna be reacting to Yaki Awakening informing us about processed food they feeding us. Not even a processed vegan food safe. How y'all feel about that? We're gonna get right into it.
Who brought that. The whole fruitarianism movement, the H302 movement. You know, I'm not saying I was the creator of these things, but who brought it to this generation was definitely me. So I was on a fruitarian diet for a long time, but then I started traveling a lot and doing a lot of lectures. And when we started traveling and doing a lot of these lectures, I started eating out, and that's where I went wrong at. So I started eating out. I started eating at most of these restaurants, vegan restaurants. You know, man, I be telling them how much we was eating. We was eating good too, and eating all this processed foods. I started gaining weight, y'all. I started gaining a bunch of weight. You know what I'm saying? Eating these processed foods, eating the processed vegan hamburgers, just eating things that I knew intuitively that I wasn't supposed to be eating, before convenience. You know, and just being on the road and using that as an excuse to exercise my lustful demons. Let's be real, because that's what it was. I was just eating, man, eating, not eating the right things, eating foods cooked in seed oils. And we know how bad seed oils is when you cook them. We know that seed oils are very, very bad when you put them to heat and they become carcinogens. We know that they become literally cancer-causing agents. So we don't know what type of oil that these people.
Dang, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Did y'all know that? Like, comment down below if that's like interesting to y'all. That's interesting to me. I didn't even know that.
is cooking this vegan food in. Let alone what they cooking the non-vegan food, the carnivore meats and stuff like that in. You know, so and most of the time they cooking it in canola oil. Canola oil is known to mess up your DNA. Canola oil is known to block up arteries. Canola oil is known to literally disrupt the hormone system and tear up the bowel walls. And most of these restaurants are cooking your vegan foods in that canola oil. And that's the reason why I don't say I'm vegan, because it comes with a very nasty name, because most of your vegan food is more unhealthy than eating meat and eating dairy products. And this is just...
Now, if you knew this information, like, how would that make you feel about the people who's feeding us this food, or how the supermarket processed food works, and we're the ones buying this stuff every day to day, and we know who is putting it out there and making us go through this process where they know that this food is basically dead? How do y'all feel about a government that leads us or feeds us like this? Why would we still follow this? Like, I personally don't understand why we still follow them. Like, why would we still believe in this system? We gotta start figuring out ways to take back control of our own communities. I don't know, man. How y'all feel about that?
As facts. You know, and I'm not vouching for the carnivore, movement. I'm not vouching for the dairy product movement. I'm against all of that. But I'm just saying, imagine having an egg that come from a chicken. At least that's biological, even though it builds up lactic acid, even though it builds up uric acid, even though the complex proteins in there and the nitrogen that's in there is bad for the body because it's too much and we really can't process it to break it down. Yes, you can build good muscle mass and lean muscle mass off of it, but in the long run, you're going to come to Yaki Awaken Clinic because it messes with your kidneys. But think about you having a biological egg, or you claim to be vegan, and then you go get a completely 100% synthetic egg to taste like the biological egg. You don't think that's going to have a worse effect on your body than just eating the grass-fed egg that came from the chicken? Both of them are bad. Both of them will kill you. Both of them will mess with your metabolic state. Both of them are not alkaline whatsoever. Or let me not say alkaline forming whatsoever. But I'm talking about, when we talking about the worst movement, the worst movement is that where we are taking away living things, and then we are replacing these living things because we don't want to eat them no more, because we had the mindset to change, because we want to do better. Then we change them and we go to a worse thing because it's not even real at all, though. Look, when I...
Dang, not even egg safe, y'all. Yeah, they've been eating eggs our whole life. Damn.
Say not real at all. It's 100% synthetically made in a laboratory. Just think about Beyond Meat. Get the concept of Beyond Meat. Get the concept of that. Get the concept of Impossible Meat. Get the concept of those Just Egg. And Just Egg tastes amazing, don't they not be? I'm not finna sit up here and lie to y'all. I tasted them several times. Tastes amazing. But look, when I say I gained like 10 pounds off of them deals, that they will make you fat and it will raise your cholesterol in a unhealthy way because it raises the LVL cholesterol, the low viscosity lipid panel. And these are basically your lipoproteins. You don't need too many of them in the blood because they'll kill you. You see what I'm saying? So think about that. Think about the processed meats, vegan meats, the process, and this goes for the regular biological movement where people eating cows and stuff like that. Half of y'all don't even have grass-fed cows. Even though that these grass-fed cows still get killed, release hormones and stress cortisol into their blood, and then you eat this cow. This cow is full of acids and proteins that your body cannot.
That's with every animal. I ain't gonna lie. That's why even when you eat a fish, you gotta kill a fish a certain type of way as well. Because if you kill it to where it's suffocating, you're gonna eat a dead fish that organs all died and suffocate. It was suffering. So you're not really eating the freshness of the meat in every meat. Cows, fish, chickens, and I guess in the vegan process as well. Because they're not even living organs, or they never was a living organ.
Not uniquely break down because it can't go through a methylation process, and I want to talk about that. It don't go through a methylation process. The actual hydrochloric acid inside of your stomach sac, that's in the fungus in the body of your stomach, is not even hot enough to break it down. So then you get these mutated, half broken down proteins from meat, and then they go into the small intestinal tract called the duodenum. They mess with the villi of the hair structure. Then they start messing with the actual microbiota or the microbiome that's inside of the gut. And then you literally get leaky gut. It starts messing with your intestines. You get all this visceral fat from it. I mean, there's so many different.
They basically giving us cancer. Yeah, that's basically what he said, bro. They basically giving us cancer.
Scholarly articles that show that meat eating is bad, especially for so-called African Americans. I can be talking here for hours, and I got literally in my book. It's damn near a 2-chapter section just talking about on why you shouldn't be eating meat and dairy products. But if you look in my book on the veganism, boy, it's about, man, that deal about what, 8 pages, not be? Because that's how bad the vegan movement have became, family. So
Dang. Vegan's worse than eating processed vegan is worse than eating processed meat. Like, that's crazy.
All of it's bad. The only diet that's a good diet for us is the diet that was intended for us in the beginning. That is fruits.
What's that, awakening?
That is berries. That is melons. That is nuts. That is seeds. That is certain grains that actually go through methylation.
We need to learn how to grow all those things that he just said, man. All those things, we need to go ahead and figure out how we gonna go ahead and benefit from a land that we live on for real. And our communities benefit from that. We need to learn how to grow these things and add them into our diets.
Breaks down into your body the correct grain that was in it's bad. The only diet that's a good diet for us is the diet that was intended for us in the beginning. That is fruits, that is berries, that is melons, that is nuts, that is seeds, that is certain grains that actually go through methylation and breaks down into your body the correct way. And then you can eat these things and gain all the phytonutrients from them. You see that? Nuts and seeds. That's our diet. And then our liquid source was either spring water, groundwater, coconut water, or they actually had their water from the fruit and the vegetables that they ate. Anything outside of that, family, anything outside of that, I'm going to call a processed food. Now, you have different types of processed food.
I feel that too, man. You know, if you think about like ancient books and stuff like that, and what they had at the dinner table, you see a lot of fruit and bread. You know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of soups, like bread, soup, fruits, vegetables. You don't really see meat like that. You know what I mean? So like that's like in the New Testimonies or New Ages. But if you look at old stuff, man, you really see a lot of like fruits, vegetables, soups, and bread.
foods. You have processed foods where it take certain steps before it gets to your home, and then you have ultra processed foods where it never started from a biological entity in the first place. So I want to start
Right.
with that first. Let me say this again. Write this down, family. You have two types of processed foods. The first one is where it's the first step is just called processed foods. That's when it comes from a biological being or biological entity like a plant, like an animal. Then you take it through these different machineries and factories and processes to create a product. Then you have something called ultra processed where it don't even come from a living thing, family. Literally, it doesn't come from a living thing. So once y'all write that down, type in some sevens and then we're gonna break this down. We're gonna break it down. Matter of fact, let me do this. I want to Google it for y'all can see this for yourselves. So let me Google this and just, show y'all. This is what I'm gonna do. So I just pulled it up. Let me blow it up for y'all real quick. Now check this out, family. It says processed foods manufacturing is the process of taking ingredients created through food processing and using them to make a final food product. See that once you make a food product, technically is truly not a food anymore. All right. Now check this out. It says the
Wow. See what I'm saying? Like basically eating food that's not food, not no more. Like it's when we get the food, it's not even food no more. Like we don't get no nutrition. Like even if cows give, they have benefits from cows, we don't even benefit from the cow. If they have chickens, we don't benefit from the chicken. We don't benefit from none of the meat that we have. So even nutrition from the meat that we eat doesn't even have nutrition. It's not even real. It's nothing no more. By the time we get there, it's nothing. How y'all feel about that? That's crazy to me. I didn't know that.
main difference between food processing and manufacturing
This
is
is
that
crazy.
processing turns. Look, listen to this, family. I want y'all to hear what this is finna say. It says, oh, this deep. It says the main difference between food processing and manufacturing is that processing turns raw materials into ingredients while manufacturing uses those ingredients to create a final product. See that? So they're taking
What?
raw material
Ew.
and then they're processing it, and then it's for real, it ain't even edible no more for us. And that is what's going on, and that's what's wrong. So I want to
Yo. That's crazy. How y'all feel about that?
show y'all something, because and I talk about the potato chip.
Put a timestamp and tell me, like, let me know how y'all feel about that. Like, that you eating processed food. Well, processed food is basically food that's just crumbled up into food from a real food that is now no longer. It goes through another process that is no longer food. So it's just texture. Ew.
All the time how it comes from a potato, and certain potatoes actually have phytochemistry and phytonutrients, bioflavonoids, minerals, amino acids, and everything that we need. But if you take a potato and you eat it, that's fine. But when you take a potato chip and eat it, it'll kill you. For one, it would dehydrate you. And the reason why it would dehydrate you is because all of the water molecule, all of the H3O2 that was in it, and all the H2O from the rain and from the watering of that crop is gone because they dehydrate it and suck it out. For two, they slice it up. They slice it up, which is what your mouth, your molars do. For three, they heat it up, which is what your stomach do. So what we're going to talk about is basically whenever you eat a processed food, you are actually eating a bowel movement. You are eating a turd. And
Ew. We eating bowel movement, y'all. Ew. We eating bowel movement. Y'all don't know what bowel movement is, bro. We eating, we eating crap, poo poo, doo doo. Ew. We eating shit.
And I just want to show y'all that. All right. So if y'all ready to go through
Ew.
that, type in some nines, I'm gonna pull out the cadaver and let's go through it. I'm gonna show you how when you eat food that is not straight directly from source. See, the first source is you grow it yourself. That's what I do with about, I say, I'm gonna be generous and I'm not gonna be the big head. I say about 73% of the foods that I eat, I grow myself. You know what I'm saying? So the first source is growing your food yourself and eating it. That is literally from the soil to the table. Nothing gets healthier. Nothing gets better than that. Nothing gets healthier. Nothing gets better than that. Now, the second thing is when it passes two hands, which means you're going to shop at your local's farmers market. That means that the local's farmers, they grew it. Then after they grew it, they took it out. They cleaned it off for you. They put it in the most cheapest containers ever because they finna give it straight directly to you. But they have to drop, if they not setting up shop themselves somewhere on the corner, or if they not going to the farmer's market to hand it directly to you, then it's two sources. But if they got to give it to produce at Whole Foods and they got to give it to produce, that is five sources. So the first source is from the soil to the table, from your yard to your table. The second source is from the soil to the farmer to your table. You see that? That's the second best one. The third best one is from the soil to the farmer. The farmer gotta clean it. Then the farmer take it to the grocery store and put it in organic produce. That's five different exchanges they have to do before it gets to you. That's not a good thing. So the whole thing we need to try to be doing is we need to try to cut it down. So a lot of people are constantly blaming, mineral deficiency on they stripping the soil of minerals. I totally agree. I get that. I had to literally induce and love and care for my land to get the minerals back in it. Matter of fact, my land is so perfect right now. There's damn gophers and damn what you call them now, ground moles. So many worms and fungus in my land. The moles is digging it up because we done created and cultivated the land so much to grow our foods that it's rich with soil, it's rich with the minerals, it's rich with nutrients, it's rich with nitrogen, it's rich with everything it needs to grow and yield a crop, but we can get the adequate amount of phytonutrients and phytochemicals in my family's mouths and bellies. So,
Man, we need to get to that point, man. Like, he's benefiting that from himself, for his personal family. You know what I'm saying? I think that us personally, as a community, as as people who live in the United States, you know what I mean. We don't have that ability to be growing our fruits and vegetables, but I think we should. You know what I mean? And I don't think that we should be so sleep deprived that we don't take the time out to learn these skills. So like I think it's vital. And like you said, like we don't have rich soil because we don't grow nothing on it. If you grow rich things on it, then it'll eventually become rich soil with it. So then you'll have things to grow off of it. So like, I mean, I just want to know, do we actually believe in them? Like, I think I'm about to wrap this up, wrap this video up. If y'all want to continue watching that, you can watch that. I'm gonna share his video, leave a link in the description or whatnot. But like, I think we should start having more like constructive gatherings in our in our communities where we learn like different skills like growing our fruits and vegetables. You know what I mean? So like, and other things like for males as well. I don't want to share too much right now, but I'll share it in another video. But like, I have a question for y'all. Like, do y'all think we should continue eating the food that they giving us through the grocery market? We have to figure out a way to change that, man. And not only that, it's like, if we know that they feeding us food like that it isn't good for us, it's basically we eating crap. We eating bowel movement. Like we're not eating real nutrition. That's why we have so much cancer. It's so many reasons that goes into it, but my ultimate thing is that the government don't have our best interest, y'all. And I just would like us as a community, I would like us to get to a point where, where we are stronger than them. I feel like we can govern ourselves. We can self-govern ourselves better than the government has been governing us. I believe that. I know that it's true. It's other third world countries that's doing it now. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all let me know if y'all believe that we can govern ourselves better than the government. If y'all feel like we can change our diets in our community by coming together and teaching these skills. Like, do y'all think like that's something we should work on? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I'm out.